Hey guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching. Welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. Today I want to play around a little bit and talk about self-esteem. Um, a little unique perspective on it uh, because to me, self-esteem is more than just feeling good about yourself. You know, a lot of times when people say the word self-esteem, or they say you need self-esteem or you don't have self-esteem, it's a lot about feeling good about yourself. And honestly, that's a part of it, okay? But I think that when you are trying to develop yourself, there's more to it than that. Self-esteem is important so that you have a sense of power and control in your life and a sense of passion and meaning and purpose. And I get that. But I also think that part of the self-esteem process is being able to examine your flaws and faults. Um, Both the ones that you wish to change and the ones you wish to keep. Because remember, this is about making your own brand, making you you. So this is a lot about, you keep the things you want, you get rid of the things you don't want. Um, and my caveat is it has to be because they're the things you don't want, not the things that other people don't like about you. Okay? Because some things are going to be intrinsically you. And if you get rid of those, well, you're not going to be you anymore, and you're probably not going to feel very good about yourself or your life. And eventually that'll show forth even to the people that you consider yourself changing for, so they'll accept you. You probably saw me shaking my pen here in a moment. I want you guys to go get a pen and a basic sheet of paper and come back, and we're going to do a quick exercise. So pause the video and go grab that and come back. And we're back. Okay. Basically, what I want you to do is I want you to take, especially if it's a regular old 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I want you to split it in half. Just draw a line down the middle. Okay, and we're going to make two columns. On the one column, we're going to make um, things you like about yourself, and we're going to put that on the left side of the column. Okay, and then the things you don't like about yourself are going to go on the right side of the column. Now, I want to make it simple, okay, because your subconscious doesn't necessarily need long strings of words. Just keeping it simple and basic. Things like, okay, don't like my face, don't like my body, don't like my height, don't like my whatever, or love my voice, love my eyes, love my smile, whatever it is, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the good stuff first, all right? Um, you're going to write down, now listen, not a laundry list, okay, because we're only going to take a few minutes to play with this concept, because again, this is armchair conversations, quick, easy, and out. Just take a few minutes, jot down maybe 5 things you like about yourself. And so go ahead and pause the video and think about that and write it down. And we're back. So, you like how I do that? So, those are some of the things that you like about yourself. And so you look at your list and, you know, be on. And the thing about exercises like this is just between you and you. It's not even between you and me, even though I'm, helping or encouraging you to try this. Nobody has to see this paper but you, and you don't have to keep this paper because, again, you're imprinting this on your subconscious by thinking about it and writing it down. And you can throw the papers away, burn them up, tear them up, whatever. Just as long as, again, you're honest with you, because the only person who can change you long term is you. And the only way you can make it stick if you really want to be something different is you got to be honest with you. You don't have to tell anybody else, but you better know. Okay? So we got the 5 things on this side that we like about ourselves. Okay? And there are going to be reasons why, but we're not going to do that just yet. Now I want you to go over to the right side, and that's going to be the side where you have some of the things you don't like about yourself. And if you are like most of us, you could probably make a much longer list of things you don't like about yourself than things you do. But again, I want you to limit it to 5. And I'm not even going to put any rules or regulations on how you write that down. But I'm going to have you pause the video and go ahead and write down those 5 things now. And we're back. Okay, so now you got 5 things you like, 5 things you don't like. Now I'm going to ask you some questions about those. Okay. Is there anything that you can do to enhance and increase and make even better the 5 things on the left side that you wrote down that you like about yourself? Like, for example, let's say you like your smile. Is there anything that you can do to increase that? Is there anything you can do to make it even better, to get more joy out of it? Like, for example, do you smile a lot? If you like your smile, do you smile often? Do you smile at people? Do you smile at babies? Do you smile whenever you have a pleasant thought? Do you just smile at yourself in the mirror for no good reason other than the fact that you're worth it and you should love yourself and be cool with it? Um, that's something that you could do maybe to enhance it. And so I want you to take a minute and look at the 5 things you wrote down. And um, you can draw underneath them or wherever you got space. And I want you to write down some little quick, brief, small snippets about how you could increase the joy that you get from those things you like about yourself or what you can do to make them even better. Go ahead and pause the video now. And we're back. So, did you go ahead and do the exercise? I know there's some of you that aren't going to do it. There's some of you probably laughing right now at me or saying, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I don't care. So I just want those who wish to do this because it's a valid thing to play with. Okay? So we've done the 5 things we like about ourselves. We've done the things that we think we can do to make those things even more better, more pleasurable, and enjoy them even more and appreciate those things about ourselves even more. Okay? Now, we move over to the stuff we don't like about ourselves. The things that we usually have a much longer laundry list for. So now I want you to take and ask the same question. What can you do to change that? And this is where it gets a little more complex because there are ways you can make it worse. Okay? There are. And there are ways you can change it to make it better. Um, I want you to focus on, even though this is going to be strange to you, what are some things you could do to make those things about you that you don't like even worse? Pause the tape, give it a shot. And we're back. Now I want you to take that same column, and if you got space or flip your paper over, whatever, what can you do to change those things that you don't like about yourself? The things that you want to change about yourself that you don't like. What can you do to change those? Pause the tape and go. And we're back. Okay, so on the bad side, stuff we don't like about ourselves, we got a list of how we can make it worse. Just like over here, we had a list of how we can make it better. And we also have a list of things you can do to change that. The other question I want to ask you that's very interesting, and it applies to both sides, is are there ways to change the things that you like or don't like about yourself? Because if you're like most of us, I would be willing to bet that one of those 5 things on either side of that list are things that you can't change that are intrinsically you. Especially when you're talking about physical characteristics sometimes. You can exercise because, again, I've always liked bodybuilding. I do like to work out, and I like the way my body changes as I train my body and train my muscles, and sometimes occasionally diet, which is another circumstance that I don't do as much anymore. I'm just trying to have a lifestyle change to make it permanent. But there are certain things that you can't change about you. Most of the things that are physical You know, you can, well, I guess with surgery and a bunch of, stress, strife, and trauma, you could change certain things like get your nose did, get your breasts did, your hair did, your nails done. Okay, you could do those things. Okay. But some of those things take a great effort. And honestly, you might find after that happens that you're still not happy with you because it's really not about your hair or your boobs or your nails or your nose. It's about how you feel about you inside. So on the things that are there, I'm betting at least one of those things are something you can't change. And so that might be a good place to move on to our next step, which is talking about incorporating positive thinking into your list. Because there are things on that list you can change. Okay, you could change your level of patience, or you could change your level of tolerance on subjects toward different people. You could change your level of interaction and social, you know, um, health. And you could, stop being worried or being fearful, or learn to relax if you're very anxious and agitated. And so there are some things you can change, and you should work on those. And that positive mental attitude will help you to do that. Now, the way this all ties back around again into self-esteem is that if you enhance the things that are good about you that you already like, or things that give you pleasure when you display them to others, because I'm never going to say you don't seek approval sometimes, but if all you do is seek approval, you're probably not going to be yourself. Um, and so you're going to enhance the things that are good about you that you like, and then you're going to work on the things that you don't like. And that's going to lead to what I consider self-esteem, which is knowing your strengths and weaknesses, being okay with you regardless. And if you want to change things, just be sure you're changing them for you, doing that regardless. So, looking at that, if there are ways to change it, then approach it with a positive mental attitude, a sense of play and enthusiasm, and work on it. And you're going to come up with all kinds of ideas about how to change the things you don't like about you that you would like to be better, to make your life better, to enjoy your life more. And they can range from things as crazy as meditation to jumping out of an airplane. You have to figure out what they are, and you have to develop those things in you. And you have to approach it again with a positive mental attitude that I can change this, I want to change this, and this is going to be better for me, and I like it, and I'm going to do it. Okay. You just have to understand that it's going to take time and effort, and there are going to be times when, again, I like Eric Thomas's saying, when nothing around you looks like success, but you got to stick it out. You get back up and you continue to throw stuff against the wall, because eventually something is going to stick. And longevity has effect as far as your personal development is concerned. So that's one section, and I'm going to probably go ahead and bust this into two parts, because I also want to talk about things like the stressors in your environment that may bring out the worst in you, the right hand list. Because sometimes there are other causes other than just your internal ideas about who you are and what you deserve. However, the takeaways from this are, to me, self-esteem is looking at both sides of yourself, the stuff you like, the stuff you don't like, and also the things you want to change, being approached with a positive attitude and with intelligent seeking to find things that you can do to alter the course of your life, and the things that you don't like about you that may contribute to you not having the life you want. And so until then, I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for sharing my armchair. Don't forget to come back for part two, which is stressors and triggers as it relates to self-esteem.